Good evening, Saints. How y'all doing? Well, Paula White is back at it again. Y'all know who Paula White is, right? She is the white woman with the big black audience. She's supposed to be a pastor, but she never actually occupies buildings. She just goes and does these revivals. Anyway, Paula White is the spiritual advisor to Donald Trump, which tells you what level we're working on here. Those people have a lot in common. Who is your God, is what I ask you. Paula White, here we are in crisis, and she wants to raise money for a hospital, right? A hospital just for coronavirus sufferers, or people who are stricken with coronavirus, right? That's not the catchline. This building does not exist. She wants you to send her $91 based on scripture, Psalms 91. So you got to come up with $91, right? And she's not going to build the hospital. She's going to give them spiritual advice online, I guess. So I'm trying to figure out, what do you need the $91 for? If you're not buying syringes, you're not buying these ventilators they need, you're not buying testing equipment, you're not buying anything physical. Where does the $91 go? It's the same thing with Paula White. She's such a shyster. She's shameless. Paula White is a multi-millionaire, but she cannot pass up the opportunity to cash in on these people suffering and have them giving money to an imaginary hospital that doesn't even exist. She said, "Oh, I'm healing their souls." So you come on and talk for an hour, and they're healed from coronavirus. That woman. Hey, people. For Real Neil. Hi, For Real Neil. You're the first one here. Good evening. Okay. Brown Park Productions. Brown Park Productions. You want to produce my book? Brown Park Productions. We're looking for somebody's is it a biographer? Whatever. Turn our book into a movie. That would be nice. Hey guys. Hi everybody. Can you believe the nerve of that woman? You can't. I mean, my God, people. You can't come online and encourage people for free. Why they got to give you $91? Multiply for all the crazy people who follow her, it turns into quite a bit of money. I don't give $91 for the offering. So these people with these churches, I don't even think she has a church. She just collects money. She feels like the words that are coming out of her mouth are worth millions of dollars. Not thousands. She wants millions of dollars every time she opens her mouth. She doesn't even have the decency to say, well, if we're in crisis and people need encouragement, why they got to pay for the encouragement? See, churches are populated by a lot of old people who are not thinking rationally anymore. And I think this is what they're looking for. They know that most of the world are going to see them as crooks. But there's always going to be these people who maybe are not completely in charge of their senses, who have a lot of money from their from their 401ks or whatever. And they just bleed, knowing they'll catch a few fish. No offense. Hey, people. Hi, Nikki. Good to see you guys. Everybody hunkered down. Y'all don't get offended by these preacher people. I mean, that woman's got to have multiple millions of dollars. She lives in high-rise apartments and mansions all over the world and drives Rolls Royces and all this kind of stuff. And why does she need your $91? People are about to be laid off their jobs. Many are already laid off their jobs. New York City said they're going to lay off at least half. The number I heard today was 75% of the workforce. Everybody's doing bad, and yet you're supposed to take $91 and send it to Paula White for an imaginary hospital, a spiritual hospital. Woo, woo. So I guess she comes on the stage. Oh, I feel the spirit just walked in the room. Oh, the power is going through my hands. Why don't you send me $200? It's horrible. And this person is representing the president of the United States. Doesn't he have enough sense to say, listen, Paula, if I'm going to be identify you as the spiritual advisor to the president of the United States, you're going to have to cut all this scamming out, or at least dumb it down until after we get out of office. Nope. She goes right on with the scams. I don't know why that show, American Greed, doesn't do a show on Paula White. That would be a great show. They do those kind of exposés, though. They tackle everybody, rappers, whoever is a shyster, but they haven't gotten around to Paula White yet. Remember, this is the woman that gave T.D. Jakes a Bentley. You know what a Bentley costs? It's well over $250,000. $250,000 for a car, and she gives it away to him. Now, you know they didn't already figure out a way for them to avoid taxes for her to give them that car. T.D. Jakes bought that car. Anyway, they're crooks. I don't know why it bugs me so much that, because I'm not a racial type person. I don't think only in race, but it just troubles me that he has such a big black following. It's like all these big preachers, these televangelists, whatever. They always seem to focus in on us. Because they capitalize on our faith. Black folks got a whole lot of faith. They came a long, long, long way, right? And a lot of it, all they had was faith. So they're faithful people. And these people see an opportunity to relieve them of their paychecks. Let me see. Let me see your transcript. That's your name. She is actually a pastor of a church in where? She took over the church whose former pastor overdosed. Well, she had that job. What was that guy, Tim's? I think his name is Tim's. His first name was Tim, or his last name was Tim's. Somebody here knows. Yeah, that guy was doing crack. He was supposed to be the mega pastor. She took over that for a while. I don't follow those people. I mean, I have no respect for these televangelists and so forth. They say they need we got to raise $2 million for a jet because we got to save the world. What are you saving the world? It's the same book. Why don't you just tell people to read the Bible? Always a scam. I think her church is a church without walls. She's just a scam artist, people. She's just a scam artist. I don't know why you guys don't get it. And for this fool in the White House to name her as the spiritual advisor to the president of the United States, a known scam artist, I mean, it tells you about him. I doubt Donald Trump, before he ran for president, stepped foot in a church with his 2 Corinthians and all this stuff. They don't care. They don't believe. If you really thought that God was watching you and looking down on you, you would not be so anxious to relieve these people of their money. You want to do ministry, you want to help somebody, help them. Money shouldn't be the primary thing, honey. We have this virus that's got everybody locked in their house without funds, and they're supposed to go and give you $91 for an imaginary church, imaginary hospital. I mean, how could you use the verbiage hospital? Church always said a church is a hospital for the sick. Shouldn't be a price tag on it. You give tithe and offerings to your church. I give to my church because I know the bills have got to be paid. We got to pay for the lights. We got to pay for the heat and all this kind of thing like that. But all this excessive stuff of sending people money online, come on. She doesn't even have respect for you. She thinks people are so stupid. And just like with all con men or women, they know that there are some people who are going to believe it. They're going to believe they can send $91 to her, and then they will be protected from the coronavirus. So they went to their computer, turned it on, and got a spiritual healing through the computer. People, when that woman realizes that you will give her $91, trust me, she wants your information because she says, I just caught another one. A fool and his money will soon be parted. Who aren't thinking, Deacon, who you calling Deacon Prankville? Prankville, what you talking about? Deacon, aren't you one of those old people who aren't thinking straight? No, I'm thinking very straight, very clear, honey. That's why I don't fall for scams and con women, con men. Kenneth Copeland say, okay, you're locked in. We can't have church. You know, you got those big old mega church, but send in your tithe. What you need sending tithes for? For what? You threw away the whole Old Testament. You say, oh, you're living under the New Testament, but we're going to keep the tithe. And of course, there's no money, there's no excess money. It just pays the bills. While he's on, is he on his fourth jet? Fourth jet. Then does the preacher deserve to have 4 jets? They anger me. But praise the Lord, God delivered me from all that televangelist stuff a long time ago. It is a personal relationship God wants with us. He wants us to believe. That's what he wants. He don't want you going out and building these empires for these creeps. God can use anyone, but anointed is a gigantic stretch. They anoint themselves. They anoint themselves. Ain't nobody anointed them. Oh, I got the call. You got the call. Yes, people told you that this man just made $10 million a year. That's the call you got. Polish your craft. Jim Baker, wasn't he involved in some kind of scam recently? Why they got to have all this money? It's just crazy. Your God is money. That's what it is. It all comes down to money. I think a lot of them, maybe they went into it with the right intentions in ministry, some of them. But when that money started coming in and they start seeing the potential of the money they could make and the gullibility of spiritual people, they made it their living. Oh, I hear the police. Hold on. No, it's on the train. I guess it sounds like somebody out there. Maybe it's some foghorn or something talking to the train. Anyway. People, help your church out. I'm not saying it's wrong to help your church out. Give, wherever you want to give. You see people laying out on the street, you could help them as well. I don't think you all got to give it all to the church. But I think at least while she's calling herself the spiritual advisor to the president of the United States, that is a position. She should be able to contain herself enough until the job is done, until he's out of office. It is an embarrassment to have the spiritual advisors to the president out here scamming people and ripping them off. Why don't he send his IRS on her? People put too much on this preaching thing. You put too much on the preaching thing, honey. They're saying the exact same thing 2,000 years. The book ain't changed, honey. I mean, how many more times you got to hear the story of the prodigal son before you know the story? How many more times? People have been in church 60 years. Same stories, same Bible stories. And the simple ones. These guys, they're not working hard, honey. Anyway. Okay. Is it Blaine Star? BKLYN star 79. Well, let's see how many of these churches are going to help their congregation. Right. The congregations of people need help. They're the ones losing their jobs. They're the ones trapped in their house. They're the ones with this big number of elderly people that can't even leave their house. I would think they need the help, not you and your imaginary hospital, Paula White. It's always a scam. Every time she's in the news, it's a scam, and it always involves money. You would think she was already getting enough. She's a multimillionaire. Damn, invest your money. Do good, something good. That's what I like to see, a pastor doing something good. I'm not impressed with them collecting money. People actually believe they can get that woman $91 and they're going to be protected from the coronavirus and go to her hospital. I guess, where's the hospital at though, honey? It's all in her head. And she's going to say something that's going to be so profound, so new. Just going to change the world. How's it going to change the world? You changing my world every day. You're online all the time, honey. I just think it's a disgrace. It's an embarrassment. Meanwhile, in other news, did I hear Miss Five Baby come out today? Am I losing my mind? Or did Miss Five Baby say that since she got back home, she's been feeling very sensual and sexual, and she's ready to swim in the lady pond as well, or something like that? It sounded to me like Miss Five Baby came out today. She said she's coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it, hey. Watch out, I'm coming out. There's a new me. I can't remember the words to anything. God. You see, to me, the Bible teaches you can call it history, but well, I'm really getting the spam likelies lately. Anyway, to me, you go there to learn about the Christ. This is why you need to pray to these people, who these people are, who they were, who the history of religion, their history of spirituality, as far as we know, right? But at some point, you should know the information. You should know the information. You go to church, you go there for fellowship, you go there for like-minded people. Just be real. Don't be sitting there pretending like you were doing some great spiritual feat because your choir sings good. Is that worth a tenth of my income? She been eating cat? Why is she eating that cat? Kitty cat? Lord have mercy. Well, I guess she says she did. She I know it. I didn't imagine it. Hey, Marks B. With your purple hearts. Nikki, I'm watching Trump too. Okay. Holy songs of faith. All right. No, I'm a believer. Don't mix me up with that. I'm definitely a believer in God. I just don't like scam artists. I don't like people being taken advantage of. Call it whatever you want to call it. It's nothing but a scam. How that woman gonna come here and talk about she's building a hospital? So what is the hospital? Just the words she says in 20 minutes? That's all. I mean, there's nothing physical about this hospital she's building. She's a hospital for the sick. Well, church people have been saying they're a hospital for the sick forever, for millennia. They all say that. So where did the $91 come in? Oh. Y'all think black people are gullible? I mean, because it seems like the real big ones, they always end up with mostly a black audience. I mean, I guess there are some large mega pastors with a white audience. There are some. I mean, Joel Osteen. But I kind of like Joel Osteen. I don't think he's a bad guy or anything like that. And they apparently, when you go to the church, they put on a whole show for you. But you got to give all that money. They got to need all that money just to keep that thing going. Anyway. So they're all going to suffer, the churches, because you can't gather. They make that a state order. You can't gather more than some places 10 people, some places 50 people. How you going to pull off these audiences of 3,000 and 4,000 people? That's crazy. So as far as I know, they're all shutting down. Ain't nobody mad at God, though. Ain't nobody mad at God, honey. They'll convince you that you need them. But really, you don't even need, I mean, I like people to go to church. I think it's a great thing, have some community and so forth like that, just because that's my experience. I just like to go to church. I like to meet with other people, because most places, if you start talking about God, you sound like a fool, right? But when you're in church, you're around other like-minded people. You're speaking the same language. So I think it is essential to my spiritual life. But it still doesn't mean that that it's supposed to be a money grab. These preachers should not be riding around in Rolls Royces. I think, as an insult. They are walking around like they deserve all this. Big old purple ring, and all of this. You got to put the cape on him and all this kind of stuff. Surprised they don't come on with the cape like James Brown, throw it off, They can have all this to bring a word. You should be bringing a word anyway if you're a person of faith. Did I miss the song? So I had a beautiful song in my heart today. I don't know why. The night is cold and I'm so all alone. I'd give my soul just to call you my own. Hugging and kissing is what I've been missing. Love a man, oh, where can he be? Y'all remember that? I guess the Lady Sings the Blues has been in my mind lately. God do not need your money, honey. Whatever God wants to do, God can just do it. The spiritual force that we call God, he don't need your coins. And they're so greedy that they don't even want to back up off of you when they know that you're in financial crisis. Many people are in financial crisis behind this corona thing. If you can't gather more than 10 people, that puts most people out of business, which means the employees out of business. They may give them a couple of weeks severance, but how people can go out and even hustle and get money? It's crazy. Get your pumps out of their necks, Ms. Paula White. Some people have been tithing and giving and offerings and all that stuff all their life. That's all they know. So Paula prays on those people because they feel like if I stop now, then I'm doing something bad because it's been pumped into them for their entire lives. They recognize that. But they don't recognize that these people also go to church. So whatever is supposed to be given is supposed to be given to their church, right? Where does she come? Where does she get her feet all up in it? Miss Billie Holiday. Boy, I used to love that movie. I worked in the Uptown Theater in Indianapolis. I was 15 years old. And that movie played at our theater for 16 weeks. I remember it. Most movies were 1 week, 2 weeks, perhaps. It was there for 16 weeks. Lady sang the blues. She got him back. I just watched that Judy Garland story. I mean, it's so sad for these people. But I can understand how people get hooked on drugs. You got to hit that stage every night. I can see it very easily happen. Whitney and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people get hooked on stuff, on pills, whatever. All of us in the mood to get on stage and sing every single night, sometimes going to different cities, riding on buses. Sometimes they need a little boost to get on stage, and that's where it all begins. They all find their little piano man. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Alan. There's been so many scams of hers. Do they get people? What about people who are disabled? Do they get money? When Barack Obama did his stimulus package, I got a check. That's all I know. As far as I know, they're saying, they did mention disabled elderly. I've been disabled for at least the last 10 years, but I've been with this disease for 30 years. And there has been some touch and go times, right? But I do remember when they did it last time, the last one, somebody else did a stimulus package. Somebody was telling me, but I wasn't around for that. So if they do it for the whole country, then they just go by your social security number. You got a social security number, then they send it to you. But we don't know what Trump is going to do. Can't go by that. He is trying to impress us for this election. So if people can get $1,000 cash, that's going to impress them, particularly if they are really in need of that $1,000. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I believe that this is his. That's why he's on board. Just because $1 trillion, I mean, how much they going to add to the deficit? I don't know. I will gladly take it if they offer it. They're beings. Yep, they're still waiting. Deborah Blake. Bush gave one too. Okay. $1 trillion. What's that? Is it $1,000 billion? It's a lot of money. I think the idea of a stimulus, though, is to stimulate the economy. So they want you to spend the money. But how are you going to spend the money if you're in the house? It's supposed to boost the economy, get people spending money in businesses. But all the retail is closed down. Maybe you can send it all to Bezos on Amazon. Yeah, this economy is going to be wrecked right at election day. The economy is wrecked. This is the last thing he wants to hear. So probably mail it. I don't know if you get direct deposit. I mean, who's the person said they're disabled, wondering about disabled people? If you're already getting direct deposit from the government, I imagine you keep the same method. I love direct deposit myself. We're about the drug addicts down by the mailbox. Let me see. Probably mail it. Okay. Yep, he's trying to buy him a few votes. That's all I can think of. People are trying to convince him to invest the money with businessmen. So here we go again with the businessmen. What did they do with their huge tax break they got? Right? Didn't their taxes get overcut in half? They starting new businesses with that? No. They kept it. So giving them money is not going to do nothing but fatten their pockets or keep their organization going. Yeah, a lot of people run businesses. They don't have money in the bank to go for 3 and 4 months with no income. You still got to pay all your bills, all the stuff that you've ordered, all the stuff you stock your shelves with. It's all got to be paid for, right? So you could very easily go out of business. So I don't know. I ain't no genius, people. But I'm smart enough to spot a shyster. Yeah, most things are direct deposit now. I would imagine. I mean, you can get it with most things. Some people insist that you have direct deposit. YouTube insists that you have direct deposit. They don't send checks no more, as far as I know. Okay. Not voting for 45. I'm taking the money. That's right, Leah. I'm taking the money and still using my vote as I choose. Crime has increased in certain neighborhoods. I could imagine. People ain't got no money, especially if you have people depending on you. Hopefully, a lot of black folks will end up in prison and did something stupid. So did y'all hear 5 say that she is going to swing in the middle? I can't watch their long lives, so I just peek in. But right when I peeked in on today, I heard her say she was going to take a dip in the lady pond. So she's just feeling hypersexual and sensuous, and she kept adjusting her breast and why she always messing with them? Her breasts are not bad. I thought I was under the impression they were hanging down on the stomach, but when I saw her, the breasts wasn't that bad. I mean, they were perky, but yeah, she's a very sexual woman. She went on to explain that when she hugged Sean Bradley, that she said, "Oh," and he said something like, "Ugh." I don't know, honey. I don't know. Her and Wally was sex playing a little bit too. I wonder if Wally really is bisexual. I don't know. He showed a little bit of fluctuation there. But Wally would be very awkward. I don't think he's had much experience with women, even if he is. You know, what's that dude? Kensington, who had this scale about sexuality. You can be almost all the way straight, or almost all the way gay, or you can be right in the middle, and many different ways, honey. Some people think because they watch straight porn that makes them bisexual. No, honey. You are imagining yourself in that lady's position. You're looking at Homeboy. So what are you looking at? There's your sexuality. That girl, okay, she's acting a fool, huh? Oh, Paula wants first fruits and your income tax money. Oh, that's what it is. You don't got to pay God, people. Wally's a trisexual. Wally had quite a bit of personality, though. He was amazing. He really was amazing. And everybody seemed to like him. I mean, they weren't angry. They had all this vitriol online, but when they actually met him, it's kind of hard not to like him. But yeah, Wally is, he don't pull no punches. Is that picture of Jesus on the wall? You better believe it. 45 lies. That is a picture of the Jesus the Christ on the wall. People get so mad on me. Why is he white? Why is he, girl? What the hell difference does that make? What difference does it make? The picture is black and white, so you can just add some color in your mind. I do not get into the physical appearance of the Christ. If I go into a Chinese house, they have a Chinese looking Christ. Middle East, they always got him looking Middle East, or wherever they come from. White people want to put blonde hair and blue eyes on him. Whatever. Christ, God is a spirit. He saved my life. I am faithful, Christ. But that picture was a picture on my cell in my last prison stint when I first became a little baby Christian. And so it has I have a sentimental attachment to that particular picture. I lived with it for a while, right? You know that excitement when you first come to faith? I love that picture. I love it too, honey. It looks like a sketch, doesn't it? Can you see? It looks like a sketch, right? But it's actually just a Xerox copy taken out of a magazine. This other gay boy in Vacaville State Prison. Look at these nice pictures. You see him? Look at that nice lady. Anyway, but it's just a Xerox copy. When I got out of the pen, that's all I had was that. And I took it to a Kinko's and blew it up and framed it. Yeah. So anyway, that's the backstory to that picture for the 19th time. It does look like a sketch, though. So it even fits well with, and I was kind of creative with it because I blew it up much bigger than that. I blew it up to down near the size of that wall right there. And then I just cut the face out because it had other stuff around it. I've done a few times with pictures. I used to get involved in pictures and all that kind of stuff. Now I just don't have the energy, so I have things framed. But having pictures framed is extremely expensive when you can just do it yourself, really. But I don't have the energy no more. Okay. Right. I don't think they were even allowed to even draw sketches and things in those times. They have any graven images. But I'm just not. I don't struggle with race like a lot of people do. Some people do. That's where they're at. We're all at different places, right? I don't discount a person. This one, he with a white woman. I don't judge people for that because they're still black. I don't care who they like. People get mad about, you gotta have the black look. No, you don't got to do anything. Just do you, honey. Just do you. If you are in a place where you still have a lot of hatred in your heart against white people, whatever, you're gonna have to work your way through that. But don't stay stuck in the same place. Keep it moving so you can be free and not be miserable. You don't want to be walking around, this angry black man. He's still angry. Well, you want to progress to where you're not angry. So you have some resolution. right? So you can function in the world. I mean, you got to function in this world. This is our world. I just never struggled with a lot of prejudice, though. Not with Asian people, Mexican people. I like all kind of people. My friends look like the United Nations. Yep. So don't confuse the church with God or Christ, right? The church religion, that's just what people do. What they figured out, what this church does, what they believe. They decide, oh, we're the Baptists, and we're the Protestants, and we are all the different stuff. It comes down to your personal relationship with God, and that's what you got to work on, in my opinion. It's just about faith, and the just shall live by their faith. God can save my life, so I know He has an interest in me. Come this far by faith, yeah, leaning on the Lord, trusting in His holy word. I know that He's never failed me yet. Whoa, 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 whoa. I do love my God. Trust Him. Trusting in His holy word. I admire, of all the jobs in the world, all the things you could be, I think I would want to be a gospel singer. Unfortunately, I can't sing at all. But I just think that's just a hot, because many times when you go to church, the music is what gets you happy. You got a good preacher, he can bring a word, whatever, he can get you, just connect with you spiritually. But many times, a lot of those songs are just brilliant. And sometimes it may only have, a paragraph of words in it, but it just touches something that you had felt in your heart you can't express. So all my book series, love and gospel music, right? I know I told a story about how I came to that subject many times, but I haven't told it in a long time. So let's tell that story. Okay, I was 15. I told you I worked at the Uptown Theater. I'm sorry, people, if I'm repeating to some of you guys. I worked at Uptown Theater, right? This was a theater that showed mostly movies, mostly black movies. Lady Sings the Blues. After that was Superfly and all the exploitation movies and all that. But they also, many times, will have concerts there. And many times they will have gospel concerts there, right? I was 15. I was underage to be working there even. But this gospel group came, and at that time, I considered them celebrities. Perhaps because I just were familiar with them, but they filled the house up. So, I honestly don't remember who they were. But I was an usher at this theater. I wanted to meet these guys, right? Because these were celebrities in the thing. So I went back there and I said, where the dressing rooms were, where this group of guys were they were dressing. And I said, do you guys need anything? And the lead singer of this group, he looked at me, need anything? Well, girl, what are you talking about? Need something? What do you mean? Need anything? Gay as the Christmas turkey. And they all followed suit. So I thought that was a fascinating thing. I thought it was absolutely fascinating. Because we all know how hateful the church has been with gay people, right? And then when I became a baby Christian, I started realizing a lot of these guys are gay. I think that's fascinating. This is an untold story. It's an untold story, but most people realize that I won't say the majority, I would say at least half of gospel singers are homosexuals. That's just the way I see it. I said half, so there's plenty of space for people who are not. A lot of people are homosexuals in gospel music, and no one ever talks about it. You can be there every time they make a movie about church, black church. What do they all have in common when they make a movie and they put a black church in it? And there is a choir director. Isn't he always flamboyant? This is something we know and don't know, don't want to know. Many people are fine. They'll accept you as long as you don't talk about it. So that's a story that has not been told yet. I attempted to tell it in my story. My stories are just fiction, however. But I told some beautiful love and stories. And one other thing I want to say about my book series. I know all these things are called love and hip hop this and love and hip hop that and all these different love and something. I wrote my book series before I ever heard of love and hip hop, love and R&B, love and that title. It came to me long before I had titled my book, long before I had ever heard love and something, just coincidence, whatever. Love and gospel music. So a lot of it is about a love story between two guys. But is it a gay book? Nope. Because there's all kind of characters in there who are not mothers and grandmothers and organizations and pastors. Anyway, you guys want a good series you like to read, check me out on Amazon. Amazon.com. Let me see. James Cleveland, rest in peace, James in Cleveland. Yeah. And we thought there was such a terrible thing, like gay was just a horrible thing. Why was it horrible? Girl, you can't base it all on 2 or 3 lines in this old ancient book. I mean, somebody wrote that book. Even the people, I mean, Paul never claimed to be God, did he? So Paul, his writings, maybe he was spiritually inspired. He was certainly a spiritual man, but he still had Paul in there. Still had many of his opinions in there because he was a person. Unless God grabbed the hand and they just started moving, writing things down. Unless that happened, and I guess some people feel like it did happen, you're dealing with a lot of men and their opinions, right? So I don't worship the book. Love the book. I don't worship it. It's a difference. There's great wisdom in there. I mean, there's wisdom about human nature that hasn't changed. 6,000 years. Certain things about human nature have not changed. So it is a brilliant book. And certainly it is inspired by God. Many passages in there are. I wouldn't necessarily say that I just know for sure that God wrote these passages. You look at the New Testament, does God speak more than one time? I know he said, this is my beloved son in whom I am well pleased. But you don't hear a lot of voices of God, anybody claim to be God in there. So how did you turn it into a word of God then? If God doesn't even appear in the whole New Testament. Look at Miss Bobby Jones. The prissy peach. Look at Miss Bobby Jones. Well, Bobby Jones did his job though. I admire those guys who were able to exist in that world. At the same time, they were all preaching this stuff about homosexuality. Many of those guys, I mean, like Bobby Jones, like a lot of people, James Cleveland, whatever, thrived amongst them, in spite of them, in spite of the hatred. Anyway, I just think it'd be great to be a gospel singer. I'd rather be a good gospel singer if I was just a great singer than even a pastor or a preacher. Yeah. Okay. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. What does it mean, Linda B? I ain't no brainiac. That's for doggone sure. Nikki, okay, babe, okay. Okay, where are we at now? Bobby Jones had that show for years. I mean, he was a fixture in gospel music. And I don't think anybody can say that Bobby Jones wasn't gay, but they just they don't talk about it. And there's no really reason to talk about it, really. But I think when all people can come out, people can realize how silly we've been about that on those subjects. Donnie McCray, oh, don't get me going with him. No, I have never agreed with hardly anything come out of Donnie McClurkin's voice. He is a great singer, or he was a good singer. I don't know what's going on with him now. But you get all that ex-gay stuff. Why be in bondage the rest of your life? You'll always struggle because you're gay. It's always going to be a struggle. You're always resisting. You're always pretending. It's not a life. Okay. Wait a minute. What is that? Okay, Joseph, you're talking about who, Bobby Jones or James Cleveland? I mean, they're both dead. Countless others. There have been many. Okay. Is it Skunk? Skunk? SKUNK 69. I hate to mispronounce people's names, but I'm terrible with names. What's the sheltering in like in SF? Well, I gotta say yesterday, it feels like Christmas Day. You know, you go out and the streets are quiet, everything is quiet, all the stores are closed, pretty much everything is closed. But I haven't been wandering outside my neighborhood, but most businesses, I mean, you can't gather more than 10 people. That would include a whole lot of businesses, right? They're all shut down. Fortunately, the stores are open. I mean, the supermarket open, but if you don't go first thing in the morning, which I've learned, I have to go first thing in the morning. The lines are. It takes you, nearly an hour to get out of the line in Safeway. Even though all the registers are open, every single line is all the way around the corner to the back of the store and around the corner. So that's what it's like. So bars are closed. Well, pretty much any business is closed that has more than a few people, and the other businesses are closed just because people are not out there shopping. It's not so horrible for me because I'm a homebody and I stay home most of the time anyway. This gives me justification. You got to get out and get some air, though. I do. So when I take the dog out, that's about it. Hey, Redbone, your blue hearts. I don't have any emojis, do I? Let me see. Show custom emoji sticker. Oh, I do have some there. I've never used them. Oh, is that easy? I've never even thought to even look at them. Oh, okay. Let me get it back down again. Can I get back? Okay, I can't get the emojis down now. Okay. You know what? I have never even clicked on those emojis, even though it's been here all this time. That's what it's like when you're old, honey. You just discover something, right? It'd be like a great big old thing. And then people say, huh? We've been doing that, Daddy, for the last 10 years, Walmart open. We don't have no Walmart in San Francisco. We don't have any of those kind of stores. Those stores with those big parking lots and all that. We don't have it here. They have Target. The Target is it ain't no big discount. In order to go to a Walmart, you got to leave town. You got to go over to Oakland somewhere. They just closed one of their big stores down. Shelves were empty. Alan, Christina, you got to go when the store Safeway's been here. It's been closed. One next door to me has been closing at 10 o'clock, right? But if you look in the doors, you'll see people are all in the aisles. Those are all employees. So they stock the shelves all through the night. And in the morning, the shelves are theoretically full again. That's the way it was for me yesterday. I mean, because I tried to buy milk in the afternoon, it was all empty. First thing in the morning, best time to shop. They've been stocking all night. Juanita Bonham is gay? Oh. Well, there's been talk. She says she's admitted that she used to be gay, or she's had those experiences. People don't gotta be all the way gay. A lot of people are bisexual. She's had relationships with women. Some people saying that she's still having them. I don't know. That would be a hard woman to live with. When she was with Weeks, I was saying right from the beginning, I said that'd be a hard woman to live with. And she just showed her butt last year with all of these demands, and then wouldn't perform for the people and kept their money and all that because they saw her panties. Just silliness. Oh, the holy panties. You saw them? You saw the holy panties? Oh. Girl, put your drawers in the drawer. But she had to have somebody lay out her panties when she came in, right? These people get these super big heads, right? They feel like they're messiahs themselves. So somebody had to come in. The assistants had to come in and lay out the panties on the drawer. Nothing can go in the drawer. Oh, this holiness. So the dude comes in, sees it, and she decides to leave with his money. Just disgusting. I don't have a whole lot of respect for these televangelists. All of them get the side eye. I say T.D. Jakes, he's probably the best one at it. He can bring a word. He's a remarkable person. But he still, I mean, that money is addictive. At least he will preach without begging while he's preaching and so forth. I don't think T.D. Jakes specializes in kissed handkerchiefs and all that foolishness. He's about the best, only one I used to listen to. But I came to a point where I realized I didn't need any of that. I didn't need to get a word every single day. But when I was insecure and just getting clean, all day I had my headphones on and my gospel pumping. The Word Network. And then the Word Network, every sermon was about homosexuality. People were so scared they're going to have gay marriage. Anything change? Did the world change because they got gay marriage? They resisted. Remember I told you I worked in that theater? They were talking about gay marriage because the guy who owned the theater was a gay. Way back then. That was 1975. It didn't happen overnight, honey. We had to have these special ceremonies that weren't legal and all this kind of stuff. Big to do about nothing. Bobby Jones is not dead. Is he just retired? Okay, I didn't say he was dead. I didn't know somebody just said he was dead. Bobby Jones. Oh, a lot of y'all said Bobby Jones. You love Bobby Jones. No, I don't think he was dead at all. I mean, of course, James Cleveland's been gone, but everybody dies. I mean, at some point, he's going to be dead. He made his mark. He certainly made his living. Hopefully, he has a good, comfortable retirement. Everything must change. Ooh. Nothing and no one stays the same. Everything must change, even after 30 years. I think his show ran or something like that. He's coming back on TV, Bobby Jones show. You don't know if Bobby Jones is gay or not. All feminine men aren't gay. Baby, love 7 endures. Let that go, honey. Let that go. Y'all been holding on to that. Oh, he's not gay. He's not. That's been silly. Everybody can look at Bobby Jones and hear the way he talks in his mannerism and say that man's gay. Now, if you want to believe that, oh, he's not necessarily gay. He ain't. I've heard the people say that all gay men are not feminine. I mean, all feminine men are not gay. It's been so rare. It has been so rare that I've experienced that, where somebody who has the appearance of being a gay man is straight. There was one guy that I met in jail. I was amazed when he kept talking about all these women and stuff. And there are sensitive men, and there's all kinds of people in the world. But Bobby Jones, come on, lady. Come on, lady. All masculine women aren't gay. You can't always determine gay by mannerism. Baby, when you've been in it as long as some of us have, I've been in it for 60 years. Let's say I've been in it for 52 years. I'm 61, so right around the age of 4 or 5, I got my gaydar. I could spot it. Now, if you live in the life, at one point you will develop this thing called a gaydar. You'll recognize mannerisms. You'll recognize things where you can identify each other. Now, I haven't been off a whole lot of times. Put it like that. But some people are bisexual. You cannot assume because a man is married. If a man is married, he's got children, he's got a wife, you cannot assume that he is heterosexual even. He may just want a wife and children and a home in the suburbs. That may be the way he chooses to live. But that doesn't change the fact that he's gay. Right? What was I talking about? I got off track there. Wait a minute. Yeah, because I remember this one guy in LA. He had a family and all that. I was amazed when he said, because he was my lover's next door neighbor. and they all talked about him, said he was gay for years and years and years, right? But the man said he's straight, and he was just as gay as I am for sure. And I was a lot gayer when I was younger. So I don't know. Just be people. Just do your thing. Do whatever you think. You want to believe that Bobby Jones is straight, then just believe it. You can be amazed. You trick yourself into anything. In a weird way that everyone is kind of nice to each other. Mm-hmm. I've noticed in a weird way that everyone is kind of nice to each other. Where? On here? On here? Spunk 69? You look like a San Franciscan. Spunk 69. Where do you live? What state? You have that San Franciscan look. Okay. McDonald's is open. Honey, they've been closing down McDonald's and Burger King here because what happened was when they were on the busy streets, like on Market Street, they became havens and hangouts for homeless people. Because that's the one place you can go and get a hamburger for $1, right? So, what is with this spam likely thing? You guys know how to get rid of spam likely? These calls, we're getting a lot of them now. Maybe they figure we're all in the house so they can get us. Bobby Jones is still alive at 80 years old. Well, bless his heart. Full life. Walmart open? I don't know, honey. Yeah, they don't have any big chains here. A chain store here. So we have to walk quite a distance to find or drive quite a distance to find a Burger King, McDonald's. Oh, what I was saying was, like in the mission is the Latin area that they're trying to gentrify now. People coming in with all their money and stuff. They had a Burger King and McDonald's on the same corner, and both of them closed down. And on Market Street, Burger King and because they're building all these high rises up and down Market Street. So I guess the rich people don't want the low end customers, because the homeless people would hang out there. They wouldn't just eat there. They would hang out there and buy $1 hamburger. So they weren't making any money. The bougie people came in. They didn't want to be in that environment. And then the places were not that clean. Okay. We're not roasting and gagging today. I lost my roasting mojo for a minute. Remember, I used to come on here and it seemed like every day I couldn't keep Wilson's name out of my mouth. Then since I got back, it's only been 3 days, but I don't have much desire to go over there and see what he's talking about. Apparently, he's got some stuff going on where it wouldn't be right to attack at this moment. But sometimes you wonder, what the hell was I? Well, why was I so invested? I don't know. But I don't think I've changed any. Well, Thank you, Joseph McCherney. Okay, we're a team. Larry Reid on trial. What? Somebody was doing Larry Reid's song today. Alan. Y'all see Alan? He has contest doing Larry Reid's song. He's challenging him, I guess. I wonder if he might be singing a bar of his song. Cease and desist. This is a Larry Reid song, so I ain't trying to get copyrighted. Cease and desist letters are for punks. Always stalking stuff. I mean, you just can't get enough. Hallelujah. Cease and desist letters, they are for punks. I like that little jingle, but that's Larry Reid's song. I ain't trying to steal it. Poor guy. I mean, they're really hammering him with all these lawsuits and these legal stuff. I think Larry's a good guy. But you put all this work into this thing, and then you end up spending all your time in court. You have to wonder, is it worth it? Yeah, but I'm okay with Larry Reed. He comes in the chat sometimes. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with his court cases now. He's got several of them. So I know he needed some money for some court thing, and he raised it last couple of weeks ago. But people not just working just to pay court costs, right? I mean, he's got a family. I wish people would get off his back. Uh-huh. God's got him. Yep. Yeah, Larry did a lot of exposing these charlatan preachers. I guess they decided to fight back. Some guy in Atlanta. What was the big guy? I shouldn't talk about it because I don't remember all the details. But yeah, that we talk about a reality show. They should capture this church sector. Now that would be a show. Mm-hmm. Redbone. Okay. All right, people. It was good talking to you. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Hopefully, if you're off work, you'll get back soon. I don't know. What. Let me ask you that. Are people actually being laid off now on this chat? People still working? Are you guys getting laid off or are not able to go to work? Let me see. Has anyone lost their job? You ain't got to tell all your business, but are people in your community, are they losing their job? Why people feel the need to expose church folk? Okay. Steve Urkel, good question, but a lot of people do. People just love to see these mighty fall. I think a lot of it is jealousy because we figure, why is this dude able to come and live this lifestyle like he's a king or something? And here we are scrambling around, just trying to make a living. And I think a lot of people resent it. So when they catch them with their draws down and they feel the hypocrisy, because they're always getting caught with their draws down, right? If they've been preaching to us about how we're supposed to live and so forth. So I think people like when church people fall. There's a thriving business with that. E. Dewey Smith. Yeah, that's the primary one he's with now. Yeah. So yeah, people like it. And they give plenty of content, shall we say. All right, guys. Love you guys. Thanks for coming in. Thank you, moderators. Love you guys. Redbone, Miss Motown, Nikki. Love all you guys. Okay, later.